Recently, while rewatching an older YouTube vlog, something unexpectedly jumped out at me. The creator in the video was walking through Itaewon, exploring the neighborhood where several big-name idols have lived. His destination that day was Jungkook's newer house, and he mentioned he was barely 10 minutes away. But as he continued down the street, something clicked immediately. The exact path he walked matched perfectly with the spot where Taehyung once filmed his iconic first snowfall clip. The trees, the road, the quiet atmosphere, even the way the snow fell in that video, everything aligned unmistakably. Realizing that Taehyung recorded that moment in a place so close to Jungkook's home naturally made fans pause. It doesn't prove they were together that day, but the proximity is impossible to ignore. For many who follow their story, these patterns stand out because they never rely on loud statements. Instead, their history is built through small details that fit together like puzzle pieces. And the fact that Taehyung chose that exact location to capture something as meaningful as the first snowfall gives the entire scene an added emotional weight. Maybe it was just a quiet walk, or maybe he simply wanted to share a peaceful moment. But for those who have been watching their timeline for years, these coincidences rarely feel accidental. Taekook's supporters have long understood that they don't need to be pictured side by side for their connection to be felt. Sometimes, their closeness appears in subtle ways, the same places, similar timing, the unspoken comfort of routine. These repeated patterns show a bond that continues quietly beneath the surface. Over time, people have noticed how these small signs keep appearing. They aren't dramatic gestures meant to stir reactions. They're glimpses of everyday life that end up revealing more when fans connect them with past events. And each time it happens, it reinforces the idea that what ties them together hasn't faded. Even when some mock these observations or try to dismiss every detail, the consistency of these moments speaks for itself. That's why the snowfall clip, paired with its closeness to Jungkook's home, hits differently. It's not about creating theories, it's about recognizing how often these patterns reappear. Both of them move through the same spaces, choosing similar environments, and without even trying, they remind fans that their relationship remains meaningful. Taehyung didn't caption the video or explain the moment, but the ease and sincerity with which he shared it made it feel significant. And if that place held any connection to Jungkook, then the clip becomes even more touching. Some moments in life stay with us because of the strength it took to keep going when quitting would have been simple. For Taekook, that theme has appeared again and again, through challenges, distance, pressure, and everything that came with their fame. There's so much the public will never fully know, conversations behind closed doors, silent gestures, or the price they pay to protect what they value while giving so much to the world. But throughout the years, they've learned how to guard each other, how to communicate without noise, and how to keep their affection alive despite outside forces. A powerful example of this happened at the 2018 Mama Awards. When Jin unexpectedly revealed that BTS had considered disbanding, millions felt the shock. Jungkook broke down in tears, but what shook fans even more was seeing Taehyung cry, something extremely rare. Without hesitating, Jungkook walked straight to him and embraced him tightly. That hug remains one of the clearest moments where their support for one another was undeniable. Later, Taehyung shared that the year had been incredibly difficult for him and Jungkook. The two spent nights talking, crying, trying to figure out what to do. They felt they had no one else to confide in. In the end, they chose to stay with the group, encouraged in part by heartfelt letters from Suga, which helped them reflect and find calm. Now, years later, fans feel echoes of that emotional tension resurfacing due to recent events. Some of Namjoon's comments during his concert led many to sense that the picture of a perfectly stable, united environment no longer feels the same. And in the middle of these changing dynamics, a growing number of supporters have noticed how Taekook always seems more isolated from the rest, not because of division or conflict, but because when life becomes overwhelming, they naturally turn to one another before anyone else. Everyone is free to interpret things differently, but moments like these remind fans why they've continued to support Taekook so strongly. Their expressions aren't loud. They don't deliver dramatic speeches. Instead, they reveal what they feel through actions, quiet gestures, and decisions. And as they prepare for whatever lies ahead, new stages, new challenges, one thing remains constant: the presence of the people who truly stand by them. Wooga, their old friends, the 97 line, and the fans who recognize the beauty of their connection. That is why many supporters are committed to staying, listening, giving them space, celebrating their growth, and appreciating how they've always lifted each other up during the hardest moments. Jikook has survived pressure, rumors, distance, and emotional storms before, and each time they emerge stronger. Supporting them means protecting the story they've built and respecting the quiet resilience that defines their bond. Even today, when their public moments together are fewer than in past years, this doesn't mean the connection has weakened. They've lived through phases, some where their closeness was obvious and others where they preferred privacy. But their trust has never disappeared. Their relationship doesn't require constant appearances or daily interactions to remain real. And those who have followed them from the beginning understand that their bond has always been sustained by consistency, not visibility. Fans who have spent years observing them know that genuine affection doesn't need to be showcased to prove it still exists. Supporting Jikook has always meant being present without demanding, respecting their boundaries, cheering for their individual paths, and recognizing the comfort they've offered each other in difficult seasons. Throughout their journey, they've endured pressures most people will never see: intense scrutiny, expectations from millions, and personal struggles overshadowed by fame. Yet they've managed to remain steady. Their connection thrives not because it's constantly displayed, but because it's built on a foundation of trust, habit, and quiet loyalty. Some of the strongest bonds are the ones that don't need noise. The ones that exist naturally, without intention, without public explanation. That's what Taehyung and Jungkook have shown: a companionship that acts as a safe place, silent but unwavering. It doesn't need to be spoken daily to remain alive. And that is why, even if the world sees them together less often now, what they share hasn't dimmed. Their story has never depended on grand gestures. It has always grown through small, meaningful moments, like a snowfall video filmed on a path near Jungkook's home, moments that, when looked at closely, remind everyone that their connection is still there, still steady, and still incredibly strong.